Hi everyone, it's Smitha. Welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to create a stunning everyday smudged kohl look in a blink that you can use on any eye shape, including deep set eyes or hooded eyes. And so if you're ready, let's begin. I usually finish up my base makeup first before I work on my eyes. So I'm going to be first using Whip It. This is a moisturizer by KàYA Beauty. Skin prep, especially moisturizing before makeup, is a must. It smooths out the skin so the makeup glides on evenly, not patchy or cakey. And by applying moisturizer, it helps to prevent fine lines from standing out and keeps your skin balanced so it doesn't get greasy fast. I like the combination of Whip It with Glaze It, also from KàYA. Again, this is not sponsored. I absolutely love this combo because after I apply this, the makeup doesn't pill on me. What I love about this primer is it's super hydrating. You will see that my skin will almost look like glass skin after applying it. I love the way it makes my skin feel. As for base makeup, I'm going to be using the Ilia Skin Refined Complexion Stick, and this is in the shade Elm. This has to be my current favorite foundation of all the foundations that I have in my stash. It feels like makeup and skincare in one, and just look at that color match. It is absolutely stunning. It's a smooth, weightless formula that gives buildable medium coverage, and it blurs your pores, redness and texture without feeling heavy or cakey. And the finish? It's a soft, natural matte that lasts the entire day. And it's super easy to blend. Make sure to bring it down to your neck as well so your neck and face look like one piece. For a little bit extra coverage under my eyes, I'm going to be using the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place 24-hour long wear concealer, and I'm using the shade 3N. This, in my opinion, is better than my favorite Milani concealer, but this is more expensive. So I use it on days when I need a little extra when I'm attending a special event. For every day, I still use Milani because it's a drugstore concealer and it's not that expensive. But this concealer, hands down, gives beautiful coverage. You just need very little product and it blends seamlessly. And to lightly set my face, I'm going to be using the Bare Mineral Veil Loose Setting Powder. This is the deluxe one, but the original one. Again, this is a powder that's very finely milled, so it gives you that very filtered, flawless look. I'm just using a powder brush to set my face. Of course, you're welcome to use a powder puff or a sponge, whatever you prefer. We're almost done with the base makeup. I'm going to finish up the eye makeup, come back and add some dimension to the face. For my brows, I'm going to be using one of my favorite brow pencils. This is Benefit Precisely My Brow, and this is in the shade 4.5. There's a spoolie in the back of the pencil, so it's very easy to brush your brow hair with it. I'm going to first brush it downward so I can clearly see on top. And I usually just fill in the sparse areas. This pencil has a micro fine tip and it's extremely pigmented, so I'm going to be using very light strokes. I'm going to use the spoolie over it again, brushing my hair so the product spreads across evenly. And then using the spoolie again, I'm going to brush my brow hair upward and fill in the sparse areas at the bottom of the brows. Because this pencil is so thin, it's easy to control so you can fill in the gaps without making your brows look heavy or blocky. And the best part is the formula lasts the entire day. It doesn't smudge easily and it comes in shades that match a variety of hair colors. You can see what a big difference that makes. As a base for my lids, I'm going to be using concealer and I'm going to be blending it out with a flat fluffy brush. I like concealers because they're full coverage and it covers up the hyperpigmentation on my lids. But if you don't have much of a hyperpigmentation or dark circles, you can also use an eyeshadow primer. Concealers can easily settle in the fine lines, so I'm going to be setting my lid with the Bare Minerals setting powder very lightly. And that's going to lock the concealer in, will not allow it to move, and it won't crease. And now we have a clean canvas for eye makeup. For that beautiful smudged kohl look, let's start with a kohl liner. Today, I'm going to be using the One Size Point Made 24-hour gel eyeliner pencil. I'm going to use it in my waterline and lash line. The thing about this look is you don't have to be precise while applying it in your lash line or your waterline because we will be smudging it out anyway. So just go ahead and apply it. Look at the difference that makes only by using it in your waterline. I personally love gel liner pencils for a look like this because it's easier to smudge and smoke it out. Another thing I love about gel liners are they're extremely pigmented. Just look at how black that is. I like concealers because they're full coverage and it covers up the hyperpigmentation on my lids. But if you don't have much of a hyperpigmentation or dark circles, you can also use an eyeshadow primer. I love to use a flat concealer brush like this one. This is from Doe Color. I'm going to link a couple of them in the description box below, so make sure to check it out. Instead of trying to smudge it straight or pointing it upward, I'm going to point the brush downward. And before that kohl gel liner starts to dry up, start lightly pulling it upward with the brush. Just go around your lash line doing this. You don't have to put in any effort into smudging or smoking. Just by pulling the liner upward with this flat brush, the brush is going to make it look smudged and smoked out. So the brush is doing all of the work for you. And you don't have to put in too much pressure. Just lightly pull it and take your time and it'll look absolutely stunning. And I'm also going to do it in my lower lash line as well, but this time I'm going to pull it downward. In the smudging process, some of that pigment gets lost. So here's the trick to get that crisp liner at the lash line, but smoked out effect. Go back with that brush and apply the kohl liner to the tips of the brush and simply stamp it in your lash line very close to the lashes. So that'll define the lash line beautifully, keeping it dark and crisp at the lash line, but also looks smudged. So that gives a really nice crisp but smoky smudged effect. And because the liner is smudged, it looks great on hooded eyes as well because it's very forgiving on that extra skin. It's time to finish up, so let's go ahead and curl the lashes. I'm using Sally Hansen curler here. And for mascara, I'm going to be using the Lancome Lash It'll Flutter Extension Lengthening Mascara. This is my current favorite mascara. And I like to just apply it to my tips. I don't take it all the way from the root to the tips when I use it on an everyday. And a Smudged Kohl liner like this is my everyday look. Just look at the length that mascara gives my lashes without clumping. And because the mascara wand is so slender, it's very easy to apply it to the lower lashes without smudging. Again, that lengthens the lashes beautifully and it adds so much character to this look. And here's the super easy smudged kohl look, crisp at the lash line, but also smudged using just one flat brush. Okay, now let's finish up the rest of the face by adding some dimension and lipstick. Let's start with adding some dimension. I'm going to bronze up my face a little bit. For that, I'm going to be using a deeper shade of pressed powder. This is the Makeup Forever HD Skin Matte Velvet Blurring Powder in the shade Coffee. I love to use matte powder foundations as a bronzer because one, it doesn't have shine, it's completely matte. When I use shine on my face, especially on texture, it's going to make it look more obvious. To make my face look more filtered, matte products work best. And they also blend seamlessly into the powder that we've already set our face with. I like to mostly use this in the circumference of my face, in the hollows of my cheekbones, in my jawline, and also to contour my nose, for which I'm going to be using a toothbrush brush. I love this brush. It gives you such precise lines. Just look at that. And once I've carved everything out, I'm going to use a flat fluffy brush to shade everything out and make sure everything is well blended. And then using a little bit of loose powder, I'm going to use it right in the center of my nose, on the bridge as well as tip, and then on the sides of my nose as well. And the last step is to blend everything together, for which I'm just using a powder puff. You can also use a brush. For blush, I'm thinking of something baby doll. So I'm using Patrick Ta's blush and She's a Doll. This, mind you, is super pigmented. It comes as a powder and a cream, so it's a duo set. If you're using the cream blush, make sure to use it before you set your face with powder. But because I've already set my face with powder, I'm using the powder blush right now. Patrick Ta actually mentions that you can use the cream over powder. I've used it and it looks pretty blotchy, so I like it like this. My preference is to apply it higher up so it looks more lifted, but you can also apply it on the apples of your cheeks. Now for lipstick, I'm going to start with the L'Oreal L'Oreal lip liner. This is the Color Rich liner in Worth It. I don't like to overline too much. I overline just in the topmost point and the lowermost point of my lip and join it to my natural line and shade a little bit so when I apply the lipstick, it blends beautifully with the liner. And to fill in my lips, I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Plump Ambition Lip Oil in the shade Worth It. And my friends, here is the completed look. I hope you enjoyed this look as much as I enjoyed creating this video for you. Please comment below and let me know. And if you happen to try this look, please don't forget to tag me. My socials are listed in the description box right below this video, along with all the products that I used in today's tutorial. As many of you know, I'm starting KΑYA Beauty pretty soon. So if you want to stay posted on all the updates, that link is in the description box below. Make sure you follow my pages. I love you guys so much, and I will see you soon with a brand new one. Bye, guys.